Right. Sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. Sticks in a bundle are unbreakable. And it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child. Then cross the river in a crowd and the crocodiles won't eat you. Now, if you are crossing a river in a crowd, the crocodiles can't just go ahead and eat you. Good morning and welcome to the 48th edition of African Cocktail, coming to you from Africa Radio. Okay, good afternoon, and good afternoon to you listening to us from Kumbu, headquarters of Bui Division in the northwest region of Cameroon. And to you in Lagos, Nigeria, we say good afternoon. Good afternoon to you in Banjul, that is in the Gambia. And to you listening to us from Texas, we say good morning. Good morning to you listening to us from Maryland. And to you listening to us from Arlington, Texas, we say good morning. Then good afternoon to you listening to us from Asmara, that is in Eritrea. And to you listening to us from Pretoria, South Africa, we say good afternoon. Good morning to you listening to us from Akron, that is in Ohio. And to you listening to us from Cairo, Egypt, we say good afternoon. Good afternoon to you in Mogadishu in South Sudan. And to you listening to us from Italy, we say bonjour. Si vous êtes Ali, c'est-à-dire en France, on vous dit bon après-midi. And to you listening to us from Berlin, Germany, we say guten Tag. What about you listening to us from Dar es Salaam? That is the economic capital of Tanzania. We say good afternoon. And to you listening to us from Djibouti, that is in East Africa, we say good afternoon to you. What about you listening to us from Antananarivo, that is in Madagascar? We simply say good afternoon. And to you listening to us from Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, we say good afternoon. Same to you in Accra, Ghana, and to you in Windhoek, that is in Namibia. Si vous êtes à Yamoussoukro, capitale politique de la Côte d'Ivoire, on vous dit bon après-midi. What about you listening to us from Beijing, China? We say good evening. And to you listening to us from Nairobi, Kenya, we simply say good afternoon. Si vous êtes à Lomé, c'est-à-dire en Togo, on vous dit bon après-midi. And to you in Bujumbura, Burundi, we say good afternoon. Good morning to you listening to us from Boston, USA. And to you in Tokyo, Japan, we say good evening. What about you listening to us from St. Petersburg in Russia? We say good afternoon. Then greetings to you in Dublin, that is in Ireland. And to you in London, in the UK, we say good afternoon. Good morning to you listening to us from the city of Columbus. And whenever you get this voice at this hour on Wednesday, know that you're listening to African Cocktail. Welcome to the 16th edition of the show this year, which is of course the 48th episode since we started May last year. Like we say all the time, African Cocktail is the party on radio that brings you all the niceties of the beautiful African continent. So, how much of Africa do you know? How much of Africa do you eat? How much of Africa do you wear? How much of African entertainment news do you get to savor? And most important, how much of African music do you get to listen to or dance to? These are some of the questions we do well to answer on the show. African Cocktail is a mixture of the best African values you can ever think of, and in this 48th edition of the show, We look at the music careers of two of Cameroon's illustrious sons who hail from Central Africa, and precisely from that great country called Cameroon. At least in recent times, they represent one of the country's great contemporary musical success in the diaspora. Their achievements are a reflection of hard work, commitment, and most especially passion. But how did this great story begin? What was their motivation? What has been their musical parcours? Who do they work with? What are some of their dreams and of course coming projects? Answers to these questions and more will be provided to us by Brodaz. The deal will be our main guest in this episode of African Cocktail, and they will be talking to us from Maryland here in the United States of America. Don't go away. And so dust is yet to settle on the recent visit of Cameroonian movie icon Sandra Fondufe to Ireland, where she was graced, and she was there for the premiere of One Night in Vegas together with other team members. Sandra's Ireland visit made more meaning to the Cameroonian community on that peaceful, loving island. And of course, she is back home. But then, echoes from this historic visit gets to African Cocktail this day. The brain behind the latest happening in the Cameroonian movie or entertainment sector, Diamond Ebbs Esson, will tell us more in this edition of the show. He is the CEO of Africability, and he will be talking to us from Dublin, Ireland. Okay, nothing can be so comforting like being recognized in your effort, especially when such efforts come along with sleepless nights, research, frantic attempts to always make things better, and of course endless desire to learn. These are some of the ingredients that make up the Crystal Beauty Show, one of Cameroon's most consistent online TV productions that provide first-hand information on the entertainment industry and of course celebrity interviews. And because someone, somewhere, somehow has been taking note of this, the show has entered its harvest stage with amazing recognition from the Netherlands that has been in the news for the past couple of days. Its host, USA-based Crystal Beauty, now brandishes the spot of the best online TV presenter. From her Boston Abbott, young Crystal explains how she got recognized and awarded, plus the meaning of this new status to her TV career. She is one of our main guests, guests at large in this edition of African Cocktail. She will be talking to us from Boston. Don't just go away. Also in this edition, we discover a hope-rising Cameroonian singer whose talent the entire African continent must watch out for. Lily Mecca tells us more about her music life and what the future reserves for her. She will be talking from Maryland in this edition of African Cocktail. Then, our regular slots, the Belgium Report from Titus Bagnon and Solomon Atta's South-South Connect will be yours. Meantime, I will be in the studio alone, but then I have guests whom I will be presenting just right ahead in this edition of the show. Okay, like I said, I'll be in this sumptuous 1110 studio of Africa Radio, situated at Morse Road, the northern belt of the city of Columbus, alone. But then I have two people who will be our main guests in this edition of African Cocktail. In fact, they are brothers and they call themselves Brodaz. I have Dexter and Flexi, who go by the name Brodaz. They are Cameroonian musicians based here in the United States of America. They're pretty known, and in this edition of African Cocktail, we shall be looking at these two young people and their career, and of course talking about their lives as musicians. But then let's go to Maryland and find out if the Brodaz are already with us this morning. Dexter and Flexi, if you are with us, could you just indicate your presence? Good morning and welcome to African Cocktail.
Good morning to you, Ernest. Good morning to the fans listening at African Cocktail right now. This is Dexy of the group Brodaz. And we're glad to be here, and we want the fans to stay put and get some more information on the inside of how we Brodaz are doing, and we'll be glad to get questions from them as well after the show.
Definitely. That's Dexter. And what about Flexi? Is he with us this morning as well?
Hello, and good morning. Hello, listeners. We are right here, Brodaz. I'm Flexi of the Brodaz. We are right here.
Okay, they are right here with us. 614-987-5097 are the numbers to dial if you want to interact with us in this edition, or if you have any questions for our main guest. My name is Ernest Kanjo, regular host of African Cocktail, asking you to sit back, relax, and of course enjoy every bit of what we shall be presenting to you in this very special edition of the show. Coming to you this day, Wednesday, April the 23rd, 2014. But then, like we say all time on the show, we can't begin without giving praise and thanks to the person who makes African Cocktail a reality. He is the Almighty God. And wherever you are around the globe listening to us, could you just bow down your head so that we say thank you, Lord? And as usual, we are going to do that in a very special way. So what do we have here? Let's see. Okay, let's praise God this morning with the Gospel International from the Republic of Congo. Call it the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, let's go.
Yes, you pensavo bamibenga mabansambe bakufa mabelebe na bango kaswa biso Jésus akufa pasite kwa asa na poma
Wiki sababeni mukambo ya wakangani
Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we want to praise your name. Most High God, you are the creator of everything, even the ones we think we have created. Father, you are the master, the voice, the great mind, the initiator, and the pilot of this show. We are only humans created in your image and assigned to do it in your honor, and of course to honor your name and greatness. Father, make this show an avenue for good and positive things. If it can provide the answer to somebody's question today, Lord, let it be. And if it can propel somebody to the reality of their dreams, Father, let it happen. We only pray for the energy, wisdom, and breath to be able to continue doing it. Thanks for your endless goodness and grace. Bless everyone listening today in the mighty name of your Son, Jesus Christ, who died, but was resurrected for our sins. Amen. Okay, that beautiful gospel piece there from Gospel International RDC, that is the Democratic Republic of Congo, praising God for his goodness. And of course, it's coming to you from Africa Radio, and the show on the air is African Cocktail. We are doing the 48th edition this day, April the 23rd, 2014, with Flexi and Dexter of the Brodaz group as main guests in this very special edition. Lots and lots of other people will be talking in this edition of African Cocktail. We shall be moving to Boston, where we have one of our main guests, guest at large, on standby. Her name is Crystal Beauty of the Crystal Beauty Show. Like I said, she will be telling us the story of a recent recognition. Then we shall move over to Ireland, precisely in Dublin, where Diamond Epps Esso will be telling us about the recent visit of Cameroonian movie queen Sandra Fondoufe. And back to the United States of America and to Maryland, where Lily Maker will be telling us about her music career and what she has off her sleeves. Then don't forget, we shall also have Naomi Dominion telling us about an upcoming Cameroonian comedy movie. Okay, lots and lots of interesting things in this edition of African Cocktail. We shall also move over to Antwerp, Belgium, where Titus Banyo will be giving us his weekly Belgium report. Then to South Africa, where Solomon Atta will be on with South Connect. For those of you just joining us, this is African Cocktail. You are in the right place, and if you want to participate anytime on the show, just press your fingers on 614-987-5097, then you'll be live with us. Okay, let's begin as usual with our musical ride. Last week we had an all gospel music show. This week we are moving back to Makossa, some Congolese music. If we have time, we'll go over to West Africa, precisely in Ivory Coast. Then we may also touch Nigeria, and of course we shall also have a special selection, music done by the people who will be taking part in this edition of African Cocktail. So what do we have in the first spot? I think Bendeka. Okay, that one is titled Amen. Let's go.
Mule mahe mutremi umabu betone hate Ane ande Mbappe kwa di bendene bonye. O manyongonde, o manyongo konde. Na petane de musiana. Ayo.
Okay, his name is Bendeka. He's a legend as far as Cameroonian music is concerned. Bendeka was recently recognized and given an honorary award at the maiden edition of the Cameroon Academy Awards that held in Cameroon's political capital, Yaoundé, in December of 2013. I'm talking about Sona Awards. Good morning to you, Akim Makole, who is listening to us out there in Maryland. And we're going back to Maryland, where our main guests are already on the line. Dexter and Flexi of the P Brodaz band. So let's begin our conversation with our main guest in this edition of African Cocktail. And for those of you just joining us, remember that you are on your favorite midweek show. Don't forget to press your fingers on 614-987-5097 if you feel that you are inspired and you have any questions for our main guest in this edition of the show. It's exactly 11 o'clock. Time for us to move to MG. Dexter and Flexi, you are welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. We're here, and enjoying all the vibes for the radio going on.
Right. So, this is the first time I'm having you boys on this show, and like tradition demands, we always need to know who our main guest is before we get into talking about their career. So, who are the P Brodaz?
Well, like the fans already know, Cameroonians already know, the world already know, the P brothers, Party brothers, and We are real born brothers, and we all we do is music. We represent green, red, yellow. That's the Cameroon flag. And all we just want to do is give music out there. And we Brodaz actually is an entertainment group. As of now, is just two brothers, and we're looking forward to build up an empire.
Right. When you say an empire, does it mean that empire is going to be with just the two brothers, or you intend to add more people to this empire that has already begun the growing process?
Yeah, actually.
All right, we're sorry about that technical hitch that just went off there. We'll definitely be back with Brodaz, and that was Dexter telling us about the empire they are planning to build. Okay. Brodaz, the main guest in this edition of African Cocktail. We'll be right back with you. Let's have some music. Okay, you're listening there to Maxel Chai in that beautiful one titled Souvenir. Yeah, Cartier Moza is coming to you from Africa region. Of course, the show is African Cocktail, the edition of April 23rd, 2014, with Dexter and Flexi from the Brodaz as main guests. We're going back to Maryland to have them. We had a technical hitch there, but they are back on the air. Dexter and Flexi, welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, we were talking about this empire of yours, which is in a growing process, and I was trying to find out if you intend to have more people coming to swell it.
Yeah, basically what I was saying is the Brodaz Entertainment is in its young early stages right now, and what we really want to do is make waves, so we can we sign in some young coming artists, and make good music for the Cameroon population, and in due course have Cameroon recognizing the music in African domain.
Right. And so let me take you a little bit back. Where did the Brodaz grow up? And what are some of those great moments you would always love to recall when you think of your past?
Actually, we grew up in Cameroon, and back there life was not easy. We always like to sit back and think of our childhood life, how we used to struggle, hustle to get life going. It wasn't really easy.
Definitely, people who grew up in Yaoundé and Douala won't have the same story. Where did you grow up particularly?
Actually, this is Flexi talking now. At our early ages, we grew up in Bamenda, but at some point, Dexter had to go to Kumba Southwest Province, where he attended his education.
Right.
And I grew up Flexi in Bamenda.
Right. So, what is the educational background of P. Brodaz?
Yes, let me start Flexi right here. I have a degree in physics.
Wow. And why did you choose physics? That's kind of really hard. When I hear physics, I begin to shiver.
Actually, I had this love for nature. Like, I always wanted to do something that has to do with sciences,
Right.
It's just love for nature. That's what made me to do physics.
Okay. And
Daisy is right here. My part, we always love to do music. You know how our African parents are, they never encourage us, to continue with music. Music was like, for those who are not smart in school, I mean, that is what the parents were thinking at that time, like, hey, those who play football, soccer, like how they call it in America, football, they would think that it drops out and all the stuff. Music is for people that are not smart enough. So our parents really didn't want us to do music. They want us to become doctors, become physicists and all the stuff. And my early education, I did the science, and I went to UB. I decided to do environmental science, not because really I wanted to do environmental sciences, but just because I couldn't do music. The means wasn't there financially. It was difficult, And I had a degree in environmental science and geology, which of today I still say I don't regret it because it actually benefited me a lot. It makes waves for me. I had a scholarship to come to the US based on my background in environmental sciences. I was sponsored by WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature. And in America, I came up with a new dream. I got here. I decided to pursue health fee. I became a registered nurse. And all in all, I just have to jump back to what my primary goals were is to do music. And not up to 2 years later, 2 years behind, I reunited with my brother because I came to the US before him, and when we reunited, we decided to follow our childhood dreams and do music for the fans.
Now, both of you have a science education background, yet music is so artistic. How do you blend both? And does Flexi's knowledge in physics, for instance, contribute in your music? Because when I see physics, I can start thinking of sound engineering, and those are related disciplines. But just tell me, how did you come with this artistic part of you?
Yeah, okay. Actually, this is Dexy again. The education that we've acquired improves your knowledge, improves the way you reason, and the music part of it is something that is natural. It's like when you're born with an inborn talent. But without the knowledge that we've gained, I think we should have. It would have been very difficult for us to make waves easily in music because the way we reason right now, our scope of reasoning has expanded based on the education that we've acquired.
Right.
So sciences entails a lot of thinking, a lot of X, Y, and all those stuff. You have to really brainstorm to come up with the solutions of problems that are being presented to you. So basically what I'm saying is the education that we've acquired have helped us a lot in expanding our scope and improve the way we can actually manage our natural talent in music.
Okay, gentlemen, I'll come back to you, and the conversation is definitely going to continue. I'm quite impressed with those introductory words of yours, and I'm beginning to learn that education has a lot to do with whatever career you pick up later on in life. Thank you so much, Dexter and Flexi. I'll be right back with you. And like I said, you are the main guest in this edition of African Cocktail. We are going to ride on with music. We have lots and lots of people to talk in this edition. We are expecting the cables of Diamond Epps Eso, who is the CEO and founder of Africability, which is an entertainment promotion outfit based out there in Ireland. Okay, let's listen to this one by Nono Flavi. It's a beautiful Makossa piece. Nono Flavi in that beautiful Makossa piece. We are still in Central Africa, and precisely in that great nation called Cameroon, and we are in the littoral region, precisely in Douala. Nono Flavi, she hails from the west region of Cameroon, but then she sings in Douala. Douala is a mother tongue, a very popular one, of course, which is used by most Makossa artists. Just right ahead, we shall be moving to Maryland to meet a film producer. Her name is Naomi Dominion, and she will be telling us about a Cameroonian comedy movie which is in gestation. Okay, I'll be right back with you. Time for us to listen to this one and, of course, enjoy it. This is African Cocktail coming to you from Africa Radio with Ernest Kanjo. Okay, there are days we go back and forth, musically speaking. So we're moving back to 1988 to meet Solomona in this beautiful one titled Confirmation. Music is music. Music is good. And once it is good all the time. That's what we call timelessness and, of course, universality. Okay, Solomona coming to you from Africa Radio with African Cocktail. Just right ahead, like I said, we shall be moving to Maryland, where a film producer will be talking to us about an upcoming project, quite an interesting one, which we're going to learn about just right ahead. Don't just go away. Now, the production of African and, of course, Cameroonian movies is a common phenomenon nowadays. But then, the production of comedy movies is not quite common, especially within the African film industry. Nigeria does its best to have that area of film production vibrant. But then, as far as Cameroon is concerned, we haven't really had much on comedy movies. But then, there is this group of young Cameroonians based here in the United States of America who want to turn things around, who want to turn the tables, and of course start furnishing Cameroonians with beautiful comedy movies. One of them is in the making, and in the next couple of weeks we shall be treated to Pa Lonka. Pa Lonka is the title of that comedy movie which is in gestation. Its producer Naomi Dominion now joins me on African Cocktail to talk about it. Naomi, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. Naomi, you are the producer of a Cameroonian comedy movie which I've just been talking about. I would imagine Pa Lonka is going to be the first comedy movie you will be doing, right?
Yes.
Does it have a storyline, or is it just going to be a film with a series of independent stories like what is common with American comedies?
Oh no, it has a storyline pretty much. It's about an old guy who's very troublesome. Everywhere he goes, he creates problems. So That's pretty much the basic storyline.
Right.
Sort of like a Medea. Yeah, sort of like a Medea. Parody, yes.
And so, who is the author of this story?
Well, I'm the original scriptwriter, but the story actually came from Ryan Atem. He's an official producer. Wrote the script, so I enhanced the character.
If I'm not mistaken, filming is ongoing. Am I right?
At the moment, yes.
Right. And so, who are the actors featuring in this comedy film?
We have a few Cameroon actors, Ryan Atem, Tube McBride, Jason Quinn, Desiree A. A few people.
Now, let me find out something. This artist you've just mentioned, have they done a comedy movie before, or is going to be their maiden experience?
Well, as far as a few of them, Ryan and a few of the other ones, they have done some comedy here and there, but this is the first official comedy movie that they're actually doing. So, yes.
And I imagine that a comedy movie requires a lot of improvisation, and it also requires actors who are naturally humorous, right?
Yes.
So, when you were doing your casting, did you succeed to find artists who have these qualities?
Yes, I actually did. I'm very, very grateful for the cast because each and every member is able to deliver the role exactly how I wanted it to be, so I'm grateful.
Right. So, who constitutes your technical crew?
On the crew, we're using Kim Bumbara. He's one for the DOP and the director. He's excellent to work with, and he knows exactly what he's doing. So, yes.
Like I said earlier on, comedy films have not been common in the Cameroonian film industry, at least for these early years of the sector's growing progress. Also, Cameroonian comedy, except perhaps for the French-speaking half of the country, does not actually shine like what we have in Nigeria, for instance. Does this make you a little jittery, right? And if not, what do you intend to put into this one that is going to meet the entertainment needs of its potential audience?
A lot of creativity, and I did take ideas from different places worldwide, Hollywood and other industries, and get together with my ideas to make it a lot different than what anybody else has probably ever done before.
Last year you were working on Deep Within, which is an ordinary movie. This year you decided to go comedy. What brought about this decision? What was your motivation?
The fact that I just felt like nobody has ever really actually done a comedy movie before, especially for Cameroonians, and also it's something that's very common in America, the country we live in. So I wanted to try something new and try and be more creative and challenge ourselves as Africans.
Now, some people consider comedy as a therapy, especially in the present context, full of stressful moments. Do you also think in that direction?
Not necessarily.
So you're just doing it for normal entertainment?
Yes, for entertainment and just to, as I said, bring something different that we have never done before, especially as youth. I want to make a change and show that, yes, we're able to do certain things and accomplish certain things at such a young age.
Right. Okay, so we're doing the last segment of the month of April. When do we expect to have this movie out there in the market? And when do you round off with shooting?
Well, we end shooting at the end of April, the 10-day shoot. It's pretty quick. We are planning to premiere it early August at the moment, because we're only just giving us time for promotion and advertising, so editing. So yes, about August, because we are premiering Deep Within first in June, and then we'll premiere this movie in August.
And so when you're done with post-production, do you plan to do a kind of an official premiere for this movie?
Yes, definitely. August, and beginning of August, around then.
And then after,
premiere.
and are we going to have it in the market? Which means that if we go to an African market, we can pick up a copy and watch at home.
Well, at the moment, I'm trying to actually get a few TV stations that I can negotiate to sell the product, to broadcast it on TV stations and online websites before I now release the DVD copies. But yes, it will be available for DVD copies once we finish with TV stations and theaters and so on.
Naomi, thank you so much. Salient information there. We are going to trail this production, and we hope that whenever we get back to you for updates, you'll be readily available.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Okay, her name is Naomi Dominion. She's a movie producer. This time she has gone comedy, and she says in the next coming weeks, you'll definitely have the opportunity to watch comedy the Cameroonian style. It's definitely going to be an interesting one, given that one of the artists who will be featured in this production is himself a brilliant comedian. I'm talking about Sir Ryan, to whom I say good morning, and I'm wishing you a great day out there in MD. Let's ride on with music. This time we are going to meet Epe and Kum in this one titled Ordinance.
Entre deux amoureux, il n'y a pas de doublure. Signé Epé et Koum. Jean-Paul Bella Elissa. Togo et Ntouma. Laurent Esso. Segala. Nadine.
Comme moi, dis-moi qui est. Qui peut te supporter comme moi, dis-moi qui est. Qui peut t'aimer comme moi, dis-moi qui est. Qui peut te caresser comme moi, dis-moi qui est. Qui peut te supporter comme moi. Supporter. Qui peut te caresser comme moi. Aïe, oh, supporter. Qui peut te supporter comme moi. Supporter. Qui peut te caresser comme moi. Aïe, oh, supporter.
Les jumeaux musicaux camerounais, lui c'est Epé et l'autre c'est Koum, in that beautiful one titled Ordonance, and it's coming to you from Africa Radio, and of course the show is African Cocktail. We have one of our colleagues here in Africa Radio who has just joined me in the studio, MJ Raw, who will be kicking off with a beautiful show on Africa Radio in the coming weeks. He will be presenting a very, very content-rich show here on Africa Radio. But then he is with me in the studio, and we're going to run the show together till its logical end this day. I just want to say good morning to all of you listening to us at this moment, especially to you, Mary McAnthony and Joseph Njobati, who is listening to us from Yaoundé, Cameroon. African Cocktail coming to you from Africa Radio with Ernest Kanjo. It's exactly 29 minutes to 12, 29 minutes to 12, and at midday we shall definitely be going to South Africa. Okay, like I said, we shall be expecting a call from Ireland, and I'm hopeful that it's going to be in just a couple of moments.
Le modèle des jeunes, Malané Richard, l'incontournable. Maître Bosset, toujours mignon. Maître Principe, la guerre. Qui peut te supporter comme moi? C'est moi, c'est moi. Qui peut te caresser comme moi? Parce que je t'aime. Qui peut te supporter comme moi? Aïe, au cas où qui peut te caresser comme moi? Supporter. Qui peut te supporter?
And so it was a weekend full of activities in Dublin, Ireland. Okay, we had some actors visiting that beautiful island. Amongst them, Cameroonian-born, Los Angeles-based Sandra Fondufe, and they were on the trip to premiere one night in Vegas, one night in Vegas. So, and like I said in my opening, in the opening segment of this show, the Cameroonian community out there had a special eye on one of theirs, Sandra, who was visiting that country probably for the first time, and it was thanks to Africability that Sandra had the warm reception she had from her compatriots out there. And the founder and CEO of Africability is Diamond Epps Eso, who now joins me on the line to Dublin to explain how this very august visitor was received out there. Diamond, you're welcome to African Cocktail.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on African Cocktail. Okay.
So, how is it out there today, Diamond?
It's beautiful. I cannot vouch for what happens in the next couple of minutes.
Right.
I think the Irish are known for very unstable weather, so it could turn out to be something else in a couple of minutes. But right now, it's beautiful.
Right. Now, Diamond, before we go ahead talking about the visit of Sandra Fondufe to Ireland, I would first of all like to find out how Africability is doing.
Africability is great. And our slogan remains quite that is, have you got Africability? And you have Africability if blood of an African runs through your veins. Doesn't matter what color you are, blood of an African runs through your veins, and you were super talented, and you had Africability.
Right.
So I think that there's a lot of people out there that have Africability, and we're doing great.
Okay, Diamond, dust is yet to settle on the Ireland premiere of One Night in Vegas. But then the major point of concern, especially for the Cameroonian community out there, was the presence of USA-based Cameroonian actress Sandra Fondufe. First, what kind of reception did Sandra have from her compatriots out there?
Wow. Oh, man, what can I say? Look, I thank God that we have this interview now, this week. We were supposed to have this last week, and we had this interview last week. I would have spoken with a lot of vagueness and a lot of ambiguity. So I'm really grateful that we have this interview now, because now I can speak a lot of specifics. I think the reception was really amazing. It went beyond what I actually expected. First of all, in terms of the turnout was great. People came in from distances outside Dublin to primarily support. They love the film, of course, but you have to have something that motivates turnout was great, and I think that the pinnacle of it all was the reception that she had. The Samba Miliki, who I'm telling you, man, is one of the most powerful groups in Ireland. They threw this amazing party for her, and her friends and the old co-stars were really a beneficiary to that.
Right.
Primarily because of Sandra. So I'm really grateful for that gesture that they made.
Now, Diamond, could you just try to paint a picture of how the actress herself felt with such warm welcome she enjoyed out there?
Well, Sandra loved it. She was at the party, she was dancing. I'm tempted to put up the video, but I probably won't. But she was dancing, she was excited, and she did not stop telling me that. And she said, I think on our way back, she said, look, this has just made the whole thing just kind of like the icing on the cake. And she's told me that people have been sending her so many beautiful, wonderful messages thanking her and appreciating her. She felt really excited. She loved it. There was so much food around. The place was full, so much food and drink and beautiful music. And Sandra was really having fun, and she was dancing. And she told me, man, I just loved it. She said, one other thing I remember she said, you know what, the people are really, really beautiful. I'm not going to speak for our people in Maryland or in Ohio or in LA, but I will speak for here, for Dublin, and for Ireland, the most beautiful island on earth. And Sandra will attest to the fact that the people are really, really beautiful. She would say, she people said it.
Right.
And so she was really excited by that.
Now, previously it was Mbofong Seke, the star in Nina's Dowry. Has it become habitual that Africability will ferry Cameroonian artists to Ireland for red carpet honors? How regular are these visits going to be?
Well, we're going to have we're going to have another event like this in September or October this year. So that would be two, and hopefully we're going to be having this twice here. So, that is my hope, that we can have this at least twice a year, and that we can honor the people that are doing us proud.
Right.
Around the world. Yeah.
There are many other African movies produced here in the United States of America. Why did you choose One Night in Vegas for premiering in Ireland?
Well, One Night in Vegas, primarily, it's a great film. Obviously, like you said, there are lots of great films. Some of the films that cross unconditional love, we would consider that. For me, personally, as a founder of Africability, and also a producer, an entrepreneur who always looks out for opportunities, obviously, it has to be something that motivates me. I'm passionate about. For me, primarily, it has to be a Cameroonian involved, at this stage at least. I think that there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think I'm also trying to promote the Cameroonian film industry as best I can. So, for me, primarily, for Africability to get involved, there has to be a Cameroonian involved in it. So, obviously, we did last year, we did Valerie, we did Seke, amazing girl. I'm like a little too stupid now. And then now, I think the big thing about One Night in Vegas was the fact that Sandra was there. So again, like I said, they have to be a Cameroonian involved in it, for us to really go to that and put in all the investment and work with all the different partners and sponsors that are available for us to get it done. That's just it. That's just it, man.
Right. So, after Sandra Fondufe, who is next in the line? Who will you be honoring out there in Ireland?
I don't know. It's kind of funny that you asked that, because someone just sent me an email and said, actually not an email, it was just something on Facebook. I heard you guys are planning to have a power show made over to Ireland. And I said, where did you get that? The person that I spoke with, Sandra and I were speaking about a power show made and the film that she's done. So I don't know, someone's probably thinking ahead, but personally, personally, I would, my preference, if I have to choose, my preference would be a male activist, just for a change. We've had a here with Sandra, so I would take preference, it would be a male activist. I have not made that decision yet. I have an interest a lot in Sanya's African guest and Sarai, because he's reached out to me. So, I mean, he's reached out to me. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a producer. If someone reaches out to me, I would listen, but also I have an eye out for what is happening. And if I were to choose right now, if I had a choice, I would do an African, a male, a film that has a male star. But you have to understand, Ernest, it's not that we just pick people up and just say, hey, look, man, we want you over the island. They have to be on a film that is doing well. They have to have done us well. I have to be able to sell them. I have to be able to sell them. That's the thing. So she do a great job. And Sandra, she's an amazing girl. She's very young and, she's gonna do great things. I mean, so young and so quite accomplished. And really, I didn't know what to expect when she came here from her. But I'm really impressed. I keep praying for that girl. So
Diamond, thank you so much for throwing more light on last weekend's visit to Ireland by Cameroonian movie icon Sandra Fondufe. Diamond, will have you some other time on the show. Do have a fantastic Wednesday out there in Dublin.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Okay, that was the CEO and founder of Africability, which is an outfit that promotes African entertainment. And of course, Africability has already flown two Cameroonian actresses to Dublin for honors. The first was Mbufong Seke, who stars in award-winning Nina's Dowry, and last weekend it was Sandra Fondufe. I would like to welcome one of us here in the studio. Incidentally, he is talking on the African radio airwaves for the first time. MJ, good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, my brother.
Okay. So, MJ Raw, I hope I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
So, tell us who you are. Our listeners would definitely love to know who the new presenter on Africa Radio is.
Well, as you already know, my name is MJ Raw.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll be joining African Radio very soon, and I'll be hosting my own show here.
Okay.
Upcoming weeks that's coming up. Well, I'm a singer, songwriter, and also I can act a little bit too as well.
Right.
But definitely, I would love to be here at the African Radio, host my own show, and promote African Radio to move further than this. Where we are from now.
Right. So our listeners out there can't just detect from where MJ is. If it was, if I was speaking in French, for instance, they would say maybe it's from Ivory Coast, from Gabon, but you speak in English, very unadulterated English, clean English. So, where are you from?
Definitely, I'm from Sierra Leone.
Right.
Sierra Leone, West Coast from Africa, as they already know. But I came here when I was a little boy.
Right.
But definitely, I would love to go back to Sierra Leone and then and see most of my family relatives back there. But it's quite a good time here at the United States so far. Everything been going great, and come across African Radio, the most growing radio station in around the United States and also across Africa.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I come across with the Big Bo and the CEO of this company, and as well as you know. But I decided, to be part of this growing organization, radio station that's growing, and to be part of it, it's fantastic.
Okay. MJ Raw is his name, and you shall soon start learning to have him and what he'll be presenting to you here on Africa Radio. But for today, he'll be with me throughout the show. Let's have some music, then we plan to move back to Maryland, where our main guests are on standby.
Le mari de toutes les femmes, bébé Théo. Vaut mieux sauver un coupable que de condamner un innocent. Oh là là, mon mia bonne année. Aïe, aïe, dans la masse à oh là là, mon mia bonne année. Aïe, aïe, dans la masse à Mazeneli mule mama mime no takaye. Ewa mo welande, yo. Sona maladi patene mule mama mime no sofaye. Onu lebe demo bongo babole. Je plaiderai toujours pour vous les femmes, de près ou de loin. Bébé Théo, le mari de toutes les femmes.
That one is a pretty new Makosa piece. His name is Bebe Theo. He's coming to you from Africa Radio. And of course, the show is African Cocktail with Ernest Kanjo. And of course, MJ Raw in the studio of Africa Radio, situated at the northern belt of the city of Columbus, April the 23rd, 2014, not 2013. We still have lots and lots of people who will be talking in this edition of the show. The Crystal Beauty Show presents a recent recognition just in this edition. Then Solomon Atta of South Connect will be calling us either from Johannesburg or from Cape Town. Then we shall also have Lily Mecca telling us about her music career.
De l'argent, il devient insolent. Isaac Alikonga Daniel, Jean-Jacques Ebele, René Mbassi. Si tu ne connais pas un homme, ne lui donne pas ton cœur. Si tu ne connais pas un homme, ne lui fais pas confiance. Camus Kamaya, Oipite Momi, Oibola Momoule Mamango, Evanjana Jumba, Masele, Commande Jelia Mbembe. Il va te montrer en haut, il va te toucher, il va t'écraser haut. Pourtant tout ce que tu veux, c'est l'amour. Aïe, aïe, on voit tes momies dans Bongo, non. Nagolonia, c'est Wange, Ani, Witimba, Iso. Aïe, mon bana, la vie c'est mort, à tes bangi. Maniaka Pondo Ferdinand, c'est Galambo.
Vous êtes sur les ondes de Africa Radio avec votre ami de chaque mercredi, Ernest Kanjo. Joignez ici dans le studio de Africa Radio par mon ami MJ Rao. Lui, c'est un autre talent, hein? Il chante, il est même cinéaste, hein? Il fait tout, il fait vraiment tout. Okay, you're listening to Africa Radio, and time for us to move over to Maryland, where Dexter and Flexi are back on the line. Gentlemen, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to know when you actually got into professional music. How old are you in this art, professionally speaking?
Yeah, I mean, actually, like I said, we said before, music has been something that we've been in forever, but we never really on the limelight. And 2012, when I reunited with my brother Flexi, because I'm Dexy talking right now, we decided to do something international, and we dropped our very first single. That was "Do It Your Way," and it made a lot of waves.
And so, what kind of music brand do you do?
Actually, we do. I am Flexi. Actually, we do Afro pop, we do Afro Makusa, we do everything that's music.
So
basically we just want to get people dancing, man. Music is music. Music is universal, be it Makossa, be it Afrobeat, be it Zouk. We just want to do music for the population.
now, you are two of you. Who does the songwriting? Who composes the songs?
Well, basically we have the talent we have is inborn, and we come up with inspirations together, and we worked on it. Inspiration is just something little. You can come up with a hook. You can come up with a story, and we have to sit down together, work on it, work on the verses and all the stuff. So everything that we released has been so far both of us working on it, and not nobody else.
And so, when you are doing your songs, when you are composing, when you are crafting your songs, what do you usually take into consideration? What are the kind of themes you usually exploit?
Yeah, actually, when we composing, you look at the society, you look at beautiful girls, you look at fights, you look at enmity, you look at quarrels, you look at diseases and all that. A lot. You just go into the society. I mean, our inspiration comes from the society. Actually music is a language, Most of the time artists write music, they sing music to pass out messages to the fans, to the population, to the public. So you always want to look at, like Flexi said, you always want to look at what is going on in the society, Like today, most of, artists sing much about women because, women is the sole focus in our community today. So we definitely look at what women will like, definitely look like, like what is going on with people fighting. Flexi said it all.
So, how many albums or singles do you have so far circulating out there?
Actually, we dropped our first album as Dexter said before, and after that album, I think we have dropped like 5 singles out there. Yeah, just to throw more light, when we reunited and we started, we dropped our very first single, Do It Your Way. That was in September of 2012. We're like trying to drop out an album, so we had just September to December to come up with an album, of which we had a huge success, and December 7th of December 2012, we had a huge event, album launch. On the album, we had just 8 tracks because we didn't have that much time for production and all the stuff. We wanted 2012 to be the year that marked our beginning, So we had that album, and after that we dropped some singles. He said we dropped Pam Pam to Pam Pam, we dropped Hands in the Air, we dropped the song we did with Tiruji in Nigeria, we just dropped the song Kokoriko with the king of Cameroon music, Petit Peli. We still have a lot of songs that we have in store that we haven't really released yet, because music, you gotta give them, release them and wait to see how the reaction is, because when you produce, you really don't know how the public is going to take it. So we have the second album is completed already, and even having extra songs. We have in the bank we have a lot of songs, but we just want to be dropping them singles and see how the population reacts to them.
But between 2012 and now, I realize you've been dropping many songs. Just how do you manage your time? We know, I beg your pardon, we are in a society where people get really busy and they would barely find time to put in some extra activity. Yet, I see you are quite prolific. What is your secret?
Well, like I say, music is talent, is inborn. Brodaz Entertainment can drop music as possible as every day, because it's easy. You just, whatever we do, if it's shower, I have inspiration. Whatever I'm doing, I always have something like popping in my head and all the stuff. So the music, dropping music every day shouldn't be any problem for someone that have the talent, that is being blessed. Like Brodaz, we're blessed. But the problem right now is just the technique on how to drop it. We cannot drop every day. I know we've been dropping, but we've been giving space at least 3 months and see what is happening, how the fans take it. You know, like the song we did, Kokoriko, we're dropping, and a lot of Cameroonians were like, oh, we want to get our own feel and all the stuff. We want some originality. You guys dropped Azonto, Pam Pam to Pam Pam. You guys dropped Do It Your Way, which is more of Nigeria and all the stuff. So we listen to the people, we listen to the fans, what they say. So we decided to come up with our own style. Kokoriko, if you listen to it and you're a music lover, you will see that it's not Makosa, it's not Afrobeat, it's a mixture. We came up with something that is like neutral, and we see that it's paying off. You know, positive criticisms always pay. So we listen to the fans, we give them what they want, and it's making waves, especially in the francophone African countries, Cameroon, Gabon, Cote d'Ivoire, you know, all those French-speaking countries.
That's a beautiful one. You listen and it kind of influences your next release. What do you think about that, MJ? That artists do listen to what people say, and it kind of influences their next productions. Do you think that's a healthy habit as someone who knows a little bit about music?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good idea to actually listen to criticism from the fans or the people out there that actually listen to the artist's music. To take that in is as a songwriter and a musician, you always gotta make sure you take those criticism very, very seriously. Because if you write in the music and you take those criticism the fans gave you, or they support you, and you put that in the music and make a incredible music, the next time will be fantastic.
Right. Okay, Dexter and Flexi, thank you so much. I'll be back with you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, P Brodaz, the main guest in this edition of African Cocktail. Let's ride on with music. Just to inform you that we will definitely be listening to some of those pieces done by our main guest in this edition of the show. His name is Hugo Nyame. Yeah, Hugo Nyame, in that beautiful one titled Mignon.
On fout un grand c'est belle. Duta polongo, et tu sais bon à nyangwa médica, komina bito e bongolo bongolo e. Et tu sais la bonne nyangwa médica, komina bito e bongolo bongolo e. Komina bito e bongolo. Komina bito e bongolo bongolo e. Komina bito e bongolo. Joseph Lumbo, l'ambassadeur du showbiz à Paris. Babe banjaite, bongele, keba molone oe. Aye matuta le motonai, asuma domo ya fempie, amole wamo. Iwalo katubi, iwa salami yon garçon, omamiye. Imine wana nyengo diwogo, mama ome sama weye. Bele mo chéri, onge aye, mopa bele majuju, oh naboe. Na mesa de munaye, maman la de munaye.
Je n'ai pas de raison.
Ayombaye, je n'ai pas d'affinité. Ayombaye, je n'ai pas de réseau. Ayombana, je n'ai pas d'affinité. Eh bien, na ben
bende di boku boku.
Uma se kaso mala ba mu.
Na bende di boku boku.
Ayo mana
Na bende di boku boku.
Sinon dame de play. C'est quoi Métropolitaine.
Papa dit un faux fanat, quel petit bébé, ne fume pas la pipe. Papa dit un faux fanat, quel petit bébé, ne fume pas la pipe. Papa dit un faux fanat, quel petit bébé, ne fume pas la pipe. Papa dit un faux fanat, quel petit bébé, ne fume pas la pipe. Un petit bébé qui nage, un petit bébé qui nage dans le sable. Un petit bébé qui nage, un petit bébé qui nage dans le sable.
And so, as usual, it's been an eventful week down south. We're talking about Africa's most industrialized country, South Africa. So much has been happening this past week, and we have our man whose eyes are always open and whose ink flows all the time. And Solomon Atta is back this week with what has been going on down south. At exactly 3 minutes past 6 p.m. in Cape Town, Solomon now comes on the air on Africa Radio for South Connect. Solomon, you're welcome.
Welcome to you and your listeners to yet another edition of South Connect, coming to you from Johannesburg, and it's Johannesburg, the city of gold. And I have to say that Johannesburg is the nerve center